July of the coming year stands poised to ignite a new chapter in the global race for space. Imagine, for the very first time in its history, a crew of Indian astronauts, selected from among the nation's most skilled pilots and scientists, circling the blue planet, riding aboard a spacecraft conceived, engineered, and built entirely on Indian soil. This would not simply mark a technical achievement, but a seismic, cultural moment for over 1 billion people. Yet beneath the excitement is a sobering reality. The engine designed to propel these pioneers skyward could determine not just triumph, but the very survival of the mission. What is truly at stake as India approaches its boldest leap yet into the cosmos? To grasp the enormity of the Gaganyaan mission, let's take a step back in time. In just a few short decades, the Indian Space Research Organization, better known as ISRO, has reshaped global perceptions of what a developing nation can accomplish in the final frontier. From sending the Mars orbiter mission, affectionately called Gaganyaan, into Martian orbit on its maiden attempt, something only a select few nations have ever achieved, to gently landing Chandrayaan near the moon's elusive South Pole, India has steadily climbed the ranks of spacefaring nations. These triumphs have been achieved on a fraction of the budget spent by traditional space powers, such as the United States or Russia. Yet, as remarkable as these robotic missions have been, the prospect of launching human beings into orbit and bringing them safely home is an altogether different magnitude of challenge, one where the margin for error is nearly non-existent. At the heart of Gaganyaan lies a clear and electrifying goal: to launch a crew of 3 Indian astronauts into a stable orbit, roughly 400 kilometers above Earth's surface, keep them alive and thriving for 3 days, and then safely shepherd them back to the home planet. No Indian has ever made this journey on an indigenous spacecraft. The stakes could not be higher. For ISRO, this is about more than national prestige. Success would send ripples through India's economy, its scientific community, and its collective imagination. New industries could spring up, fueled by innovations in materials, robotics, and medicine. The mission could inspire millions of young Indians to pursue science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But every system must work perfectly, because in the void of space, even the tiniest flaw can cascade into disaster. Let's break down the anatomy of the Gaganyaan spacecraft. It consists of 2 major components, each playing a critical role. First, the crew module. This is the pressurized cocoon where astronauts will live, work, and face the rigors of space. Outfitted with state-of-the-art life support systems, advanced communication arrays, ergonomic seats, and a robust heat shield, it is designed to protect its human cargo from the perils of launch, the chill of orbit, and the searing heat of re-entry. Every surface, every circuit, every bolt has been meticulously crafted to withstand the most extreme conditions known to humankind. Supporting the crew module is the service module, the unsung workhorse of the mission. While the crew module is the high-profile face, the service module quietly performs the heavy lifting in the background. It houses the spacecraft's electrical power systems, maintains optimal temperatures through intricate thermal management, and stores the critical life-sustaining fuel. Most importantly, it contains the Service Module Propulsion System, or SMPS, the technological heart of the entire Gaganyaan operation. The SMPS is no ordinary engine. It is an engineering marvel akin to the beating heart of a living organism. Responsible for a dizzying array of mission-critical tasks, it must maneuver the spacecraft with surgical precision, keep it stable as it circles the globe at over 27,000 kilometers per hour, and initiate the crucial deboost maneuvers that slow the craft for its fiery return to Earth. Space analyst Girish Lingana offers a powerful metaphor. The SMPS is like the engine and the emergency brake rolled into one. In the event of a launch anomaly, it can even yank the crew module away from the rocket, saving lives in a split second. But how do you prove such a complex system is worthy of carrying human lives? ISRO took no shortcuts. Engineers constructed a full-scale ground prototype, known as the System Demonstration Model. This was not a mere mock-up, but a fully operational twin, complete with actual propellant tanks, intricate piping, advanced valves, and the critical helium pressurization lines that ensure fuel flows steadily under every conceivable condition. Helium, an inert and lightweight gas, is used to keep the propellant at the correct pressure, ensuring the engines respond instantly to the astronauts' commands. Over a grueling campaign, the SMPS underwent no fewer than 25 distinct tests in the system demonstration model. Each test simulated different mission phases, some under normal, routine operations, others under harrowing emergency scenarios. Altogether, the propulsion system endured over 14,300 seconds of simulated spaceflight, with engineers monitoring every parameter, every pressure spike, every vibration. They deliberately introduced anomalies, like unexpected pressure drops and temperature swings, to see how the system would react when things went awry. The final and most critical hurdle was the full-duration hot test, lasting nearly 6 minutes, designed to replicate the most extreme off-nominal situations. This is space jargon for the nightmare scenarios: sudden equipment failures, unexpected orbital debris strikes, or rapid-fire command changes from ground control. During this test, the SMPS was pushed beyond its design limits, and yet, it performed flawlessly. ISRO's propulsion chief, V. Narayanan, summed up the significance. "This achievement is a cornerstone for crew safety. It confirms that our propulsion system can handle whatever space throws at it." So what does this mean for the mission's human side? The emotional stakes are towering. Over 1 billion hopes and dreams are strapped to the rocket's frame. Every successful test brings India closer to its date with destiny. But the pressure is immense. The engineers, technicians, and astronauts working on Gaganyaan are acutely aware that a single oversight could have catastrophic consequences. The memory of past tragedies, like the Challenger and Columbia disasters that shook the American space program, haunt every decision. As one senior ISRO engineer put it, "We carry the weight of a nation. Failure is not an option." Yet the journey is far from over. While the SMPS has conquered every trial on Earth, space itself remains the ultimate judge. The vacuum of space presents hazards far beyond anything found on the ground. Temperatures can swing from -150 degrees Celsius in the shadow of the Earth to over 120 degrees in direct sunlight. Cosmic radiation, micrometeoroids, and the relentless drag of atomic oxygen can all conspire to cripple even the best-designed systems. If the propulsion system were to falter, the consequences could range from the crew drifting helplessly into the void to an inability to re-enter Earth's atmosphere. On the other hand, if the SMPS performs as reliably in orbit as it has in testing, India will achieve something only the United States, Russia, and China have done: launch, sustain, and recover humans using their own hardware. The implications of such a success would be profound. India's independent human spaceflight capability would open doors previously closed to the nation's scientists and entrepreneurs. The Gaganyaan mission is already inspiring new research into microgravity farming, a field with the potential to revolutionize agriculture back on Earth. For instance, Indian scientist Shubhanshu Shukla is preparing experiments to grow moong and methi, two superfood crops, in weightlessness aboard the International Space Station. Success could pave the way for future missions that investigate how to raise crops in the cramped, artificial environments of lunar or Martian bases. But the benefits are not limited to farming. Human spaceflight pushes the boundaries of medicine, materials, science, and robotics. Dr. Sanjay Behari, director of a leading Indian medical research institute, notes that many of the devices first developed for astronauts, like portable biomedical monitors, advanced imaging systems, and remote surgery tools, eventually find their way into everyday hospitals. Innovations like these can save lives on Earth, far from the launch pad. Space medicine, in particular, is a burgeoning field. Researchers such as Sunil Kumar of the Department of Science and Technology emphasize that studying the effects of microgravity on the human body deepens our understanding of diseases, aging, and recovery. For example, bone density loss in space mimics osteoporosis on Earth, offering unique insights into prevention and treatment. India's space program, by sending medical experiments into orbit, could help develop new drugs, rehabilitation techniques, or even diagnostic tools that benefit millions. The technological ripple effects extend further. Designing systems that operate flawlessly in the harshest environments has a way of driving innovation. Think about your daily life. Safer cars with better airbags and crash sensors, more reliable electronics that resist extreme temperatures, and smartphones that house miniature versions of technologies first used in satellites. Even water purification systems used in rural India have roots in space program research. The lessons learned from building the SMPS about redundancy, rapid failure detection, and remote troubleshooting are already influencing India's growing tech sector. But perhaps the most valuable lesson of all is one of perseverance and collective vision. The SMPS's journey, from drawing board to test stand, is a testament to what can be achieved when hundreds of talented individuals unite around a common goal. Over 25 exhaustive tests, nearly 4 hours of simulated crises, and countless late nights went into perfecting this propulsion system. This dogged attention to detail, this refusal to cut corners even when no one is watching, is a universal lesson. Whether you are a student wrestling with exams, an entrepreneur launching a startup, or simply facing adversity in your own life, the Gaganyaan story shows the power of grit and teamwork. Let's pause to consider the global context. For decades, human spaceflight was the exclusive domain of superpowers, with seemingly limitless budgets. The United States sent Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin to the moon in the late 1960s. The Soviet Union's Yuri Gagarin became the first human in orbit in 1961. In the 21st century, China joined the club, sending taikonauts into space aboard Shenzhou capsules. Now India stands on the cusp of joining this elite group, not by copying, but by charting its own course, innovating within tight budgets, and building partnerships with both governments and private industry. This is about more than national pride. The world is watching as new commercial players like SpaceX and Blue Origin transform the economics of launch, and as countries race to establish lunar bases and mine asteroids. India's success with Gaganyaan could position it as a vital partner in the future of space exploration. Collaborative projects with the United States, Russia, France, and Japan are already in discussion. If India can prove its reliability in human spaceflight, it could help design international lunar gateways, contribute to Mars missions, or even supply critical technologies for space-based solar power and asteroid mining. Let's not forget the economic stakes. The global space economy is projected to surpass $1 trillion within the next 2 decades. India's share, currently a modest fraction, could soar if it establishes itself as a provider of reliable, cost-effective human spaceflight. New job opportunities could emerge in satellite manufacturing, launch services, robotics, and advanced materials. Startups and universities across the subcontinent are already vying for a place in the new space ecosystem, spurred by the possibilities unlocked by Gaganyaan. But challenges remain. Human spaceflight is expensive, and every mission must justify its cost to taxpayers. Ensuring crew safety is paramount. The lessons of previous disasters, such as the loss of Columbia in 2003, caused by a seemingly minor piece of foam insulation, underscore the relentless attention to detail required. International competition is fierce, with China aiming to build a permanent lunar base by the mid-2030s and private companies eyeing commercial space stations. India must balance ambition with caution, innovation with rigorous testing. So as the countdown to Gaganyaaan's historic launch approaches, is India truly ready for whatever space may throw at it? All indicators point to a resounding yes. The service module propulsion system has demonstrated unshakable reliability under every simulated crisis ISRO's scientists could dream up. The agency has assembled an ambitious, highly trained team of astronauts, engineers, doctors, and mission controllers. Each successful test not only propels the mission forward, but quietly pushes Indian industry to new heights, laying the groundwork for commercial ventures that might soon extend far beyond the government's original vision. The ripple effects of Gaganyaaan's journey are only beginning to be felt. In classrooms across India, children are building model rockets, dreaming of becoming the next Rakesh Sharma, the first Indian in space, who flew aboard a Soviet Soyuz in 1984. In laboratories, researchers are preparing for experiments that could transform agriculture, medicine, and technology. In boardrooms, investors are eyeing the next big opportunity in the space economy. And in households from Kerala to Kashmir, families are tuning in, united by a shared sense of pride and curiosity. But what does all this mean for you, the viewer? Gaganyaan is not just a distant, high-tech spectacle. Its lessons are woven into the fabric of everyday life. When space agencies design systems that must perform perfectly in the most hostile environments imaginable, they drive advances in reliability, efficiency, and safety that ultimately benefit everyone. The airbags in your car, the sensors in your smartphone, the water filter in your kitchen. Many of these trace their origins to the unforgiving demands of spaceflight. As Sunil Kumar, the leading science official, reminds us, physiological research in space is already reshaping how we diagnose and treat diseases here on Earth. The tools and techniques developed for monitoring astronauts' health can help doctors treat patients with chronic illnesses or guide recovery from surgery. New diagnostic devices, smaller, faster, and more accurate, could soon appear in clinics around the world, thanks to the spin-off benefits of Gaganyaan and similar missions. There is also a powerful message in the way Gaganyaan was built. With relentless perseverance, attention to detail, and teamwork, the service module propulsion system endured more than 24 grueling tests, withstanding nearly 4 hours of simulated malfunctions and emergency scenarios. This mindset, never settling for good enough, is something we can all emulate, whether we are building spacecraft or pursuing personal goals. The shared vision, the refusal to cut corners, and the quiet determination of hundreds of engineers and scientists are as much a part of this mission as the steel and silicon of the rocket itself. Looking ahead, the possibilities are breathtaking. If Gaganyaan succeeds, India could lay the foundation for a permanent research station in orbit, develop the expertise to send missions to the Moon or Mars, or even join international efforts to mine asteroids for rare materials. The country could become a global leader in space-based manufacturing, medical research, or even the development of new materials and energy sources. Each success would inspire the next generation, create new economic opportunities, and help address some of the most pressing challenges facing humanity. So as we stand on the brink of this new era, the question remains: what kind of world will we build when space is no longer a distant, mysterious frontier, but a familiar laboratory for solving problems and realizing dreams? Will the lessons of Gaganyaan inspire us to reach higher, work together, and push the boundaries of what is possible? If you have found this journey inspiring, imagine what comes next. The adventure is only beginning. Subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the world's most exciting technological and economic shifts. And tell us in the comments, what innovation from space exploration are you most eager to see in your daily life? Whether it is smarter medicine, greener agriculture, or safer transportation.